Darling, you send me. I know you send me.
Before we jump in, I would like to remind you guys to please subscribe, hit the like button so I know what to post. If you guys want to be notified as soon as I put out a video, if you guys want to read along with some of these books that I pick, just hit all the buttons and let's get started on the reads.
Darling, you send me. I know you.
Our reads for February. It feels a little weird because I don't have any of the books with me. I have to go pick them up at the library, but I thought I'd give out my list and just have the titles up. I'm really excited to get things going this month because one of my favorite books is actually in this list. So I can't wait to reread it. Last time I read it, I think I was in college. And I'm excited to find out how it's gonna read now compared to then because, you know, we grow and we change. So let's get started. I tried to organize the books from highest rank on Goodreads to lowest rank. All of these books have a 4.0 or above, which is amazing because most of the books that I read that are somewhat good range from 3.5 to 4.0, and all of these exceed 4.0, so I'm really excited to get this list going. The first one we have is Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi at a 4.5. Gyasi is from Ghana, which is West Africa, and she studied here. So Stanford helped her travel back to Ghana, kind of research on her ethnicity and her background. So she did visit a castle which used to be used as like a slavery castle. It's called Cape Coast Castle, and so while being there, she got inspired for this book. So in this non-fictional book, we follow two sisters and their journey from the castle to America, and what they went through, kind of their experiences. So I'm excited to read that one. The next one, at a tie at 4.5 on Goodreads, is Born in Crime by Noah Trevor. Noah Trevor is actually one of my favorite comedians. He kind of took over for The Daily Show. He's really funny, really fun, and yeah, he had this book. This book has actually been on my reading list for a while, but I haven't been able to get to, so I'm excited to crank it out and get to it. So in his book, we actually follow his story and how he was born in South Africa during a time where biracial unions were actually illegal. So his birth was actually a crime. And so it's his story growing up. So the next one is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins at a 4.4 on Goodreads. So this one was actually recommended by my sister's boyfriend, who's a Marine, Gabriel. Shout out to Gabriel. And yeah, so this book is actually about Goggins, the author's journey as well, from being like depressed and overweight, and how he managed to become a Marine and a Navy SEAL. He was able to accomplish like elite Navy SEAL training. Basically explains how we only use 40% of our capabilities and how we can tap into our capabilities through discipline and training, and how we can tap into those capabilities through discipline and training. So I'm excited to read that one. Heard so many things about how we're capable of doing great things and we only actually access a percentage of that. So I'm excited to hear what he has to say and his point of view. So the next book is Roots by Alex Haley. This one also sits at a 4.4 on Goodreads. And this one is basically the childhood stories that Mr. Haley heard as a child, and how his grandma told him about her grandparents, and then the lineages just keep going down. So he's kind of telling us and sharing with us those amazing family stories and how it all goes back to Africa. So I'm really excited. I'm all about knowing where you come from and your lineage, and I think it'll be a beautiful story. This one was actually recommended to me by my friend Sam. Shout out to Sam. And I am really excited to get that one going. Apparently it's a really big one. So it did get converted to a TV show, I believe. I'll try to get some more information on that. And yeah. So the next one is Americanah by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. And that one sits at a 4.3 on Goodreads. This one is also a non-fictional story, and we follow a young couple that's in love, and they set off to follow their dreams, and so they kind of lose touch. I think one moves to London, then the one goes to America, and then they come back and meet each other in what now is a democratic Nigeria, and I think that's after like 15 years, and so they reconnect, and I'm excited to see what kind of a love story it is in lieu to February. Next one is The Body Is Not an Apology by Sonya Renee Taylor. This one's been on my to-read list as well. The cover is so pretty. And this one sits at a 4.2 on Goodreads. So in this book, she talks about, or she explains how systems of oppression have hurt us in our self-body, in our self-image. So she kind of invites us to reconnect with our bodies and mind to kind of help alleviate that oppression and make it in general a better collective as humans. So I'm really excited to read that one. It sounds super up my alley with self-love, and it's perfect for February yet again. So the next one is Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora, Neale, Hurston. And this one sits at a 4.0 on Goodreads. This one is my favorite, guys. I read it at a very young age, and it just really stuck with me. I read it in high school, and then I read it in college, and oh my gosh, I was so invested. It's such a good story, and I can't wait to reread it. The main character is basically a mixed baby, and she's trying to set out and start her life, and she's really young when she first sets out, and she's trying to figure out how she relates with her identity. Goes through so much, so many different changes, and just like the true definition of transformation of a person. And honestly, I feel like I'm truly gonna relate because it's been a few years now, and I'm gonna reread it, and it's gonna be even more amazing. So I'm excited to read that one, or reread that one. And last but not least, we have Hell of a Book by Jason Mott, and this one also sits at a 4.0 on Goodreads. So this one actually is a non-fictional also, but I am kind of excited because it sounds like a different plot than usual. It's basically an author that sets off on a tour, and he meets this kid, but he doesn't know if this kid is imaginary or if he actually exists. So we have a little bit of magic going on, which sign me up. So basically the book kind of talks about how their lives start to mesh, and he doesn't know whether he's gonna finish his tour, and a lot of things go down. So I'm excited to see what's going on. I heard it has a plot twist, so it sounds really interesting. This one was actually recommended to me by somebody at the Austin Public Library, so I'm excited. And that concludes our list. I know I kind of went through that pretty quickly, but I'm excited to get these started and get some summaries and opinions out to you guys and give you my personal rank as to which ones I liked. Yeah, so if you guys have read any of these books, please let me know. If you guys want to read along, I will do the wrap up at the end of February, maybe beginning of March. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. I personally can't wait to reread Your Eyes Were Watching God, which is like almost a classic for me. I wish you guys a month with a lot of self-love and self-care. And also, if you guys have partners, I wish you guys have a good Valentine's Day. And yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful February, and I'll be posting soon.